now. And here on the main stage, we have, again, Sergio Caldeirinha. Portugal will be together with a discussion about lean and supply chain. So, Sergio, I will leave you here on the main stage.
Thanks, Thompson, for handing over once again. Hi, you guys. Good afternoon to you all. So let me start by welcoming you and thanks for attending. Okay, today on today's panel, or on this panel, we'll have Cyril and Benoit. Okay, both from AIO. Okay, so Cyril, why don't you and Benoit present yourselves and a bit of what you do, guys?
Thanks. Hello, I'm Cyril Dané, the CEO of AIO company. I have been working with Sensei for 15 years to be more lean.
And hello, everyone. I'm Ben Perrault, so I'm a bit less experienced, but I've started to speak in lean conferences about 5 years ago in Poland for the annual summits.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. About our company, AIO is the European leader in Karakuri Kaizen device. AIO helps its industrial and logistic customers to improve their productivity while reducing the environmental impacts thanks to the equipment called Karakuri Kaizen. These mechanical devices are free primary energy or free pneumatic energy. They make work easier by eliminating operator gesture such as boxes handling. We have therefore created the first IT platform for the carbonating industry to make all these mechanical devices available to our customers.
Yeah, indeed, we work all around Europe to support our customers in logistics and also in assembly industry. So mainly in aerospace, capital goods, luxury goods, and automotive industry. So by training them in Karakuri techniques and providing them with all the material needed to make it in a simple way, we aim to help them generate Kaizen in their plants.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks for the intro. You have prepared a very basic video so we can see actually what is the solutions that you provide, and then we'll engage into today's session topic. Okay, so I will again share the video so you can go and make your comments over it.
Yes,
okay,
indeed.
so please.
Yeah, you will see 3 different Karakuris here. The first one is just to show how you can use the weight to move the parts. The second one is more of a Kaizen directly inside the plant, where you go put a screwdriver next to the operator. And the last one is how you transfer with only mechanical way to transfer boxes to the line side. So and on each of it, it's mechanical tricks that helps the operator to have its part close to his hands. And at the end of the video, you'll see a bit of the platform we use to share that with our customer all around Europe.
Yeah, okay, so those are the Karakuri devices. So yeah, interesting, and thanks. So nice start. Let's move towards the topic of today's session. Okay, so all the crises and developments that have occurred in the previous 4 years, more or less, have had a significant influence on supply chains. So it's a hot topic today, okay? What has changed on AOI, okay, on your life as a business? What is the stories to be told?
Yes, first, I have to tell you that since I started working with my sensei, my life as a CEO has been transformed, especially my stress when I'm having problems at this very special time for our supply chain. He has taught me to understand problems better, to accept them before. This is what I call find and face. And it is one of these last points I will base my interview.
Okay.
For you to understand a bit how we work here, you need to know that today we buy around 5,000 different references, so 5,000 SKUs for raw material, semi-finished material, and finished products. And they come from all over the world, including France, Europe, Asia, and Japan, of course. And our company has suffered a lot from the supply chain disruptions of the recent years, like with COVID, war, inflation, carbon border, or regional vision of globalization.
Okay, nice to know.
Yeah, with the succession of crises, the problem has appeared faster and stronger. And of course, they already existed in our company, but we didn't solve them clearly, neither understood them completely.
Okay, so that's okay. So some things have now caught my attention. So you have mentioned some curious namings, the find and phase. You have mentioned 5,000 SKUs, so supplied parts. We'll get to those details, but let me just put this first question. What problems have you discovered since these major changes began? Okay, are these new problems to you guys? I mean, supply chain related?
Yeah, the two major problems highlighted by this crisis were for us, first, a lack of collaboration with our supplier. Yet my sensei keeps telling me that lean means choosing technology partner first. And the second problem is a question of make or buy for our company.
So if I understood, okay, so collaboration, make or buy. So those are hot topics on the table in terms of the things you put on to analyze and to take decisions over supply chain problems and issues. So let's explore each one of them. So collaboration with suppliers, that's a great and relevant topic in supply chain. Okay, can you be a bit more precise on what means you meant choosing technology partners? What does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, lack of collaboration from us. Let me explain a bit to our audience very shortly in three main ideas. The first one is to create a real relationship based on mutual trust, and no longer consider them as supplier, but rather as technological partners. The second point, more on going to the shop floor to understand the problems they have really inside the plants and to understand their delivery and their manufacturing problems.
Interesting, yes.
The third point for me is to work with them every week, adjusting our purchasing forecast or smoothing out our consumption depending of what they have currently in their plant.
Okay, so yeah, this is becoming interesting. So Cyril, some examples of those things, interactions, and with your suppliers, with your partners, not suppliers, okay, following your directions.
Yeah, well, on this point, I will take the lead on it. In fact, first of all, Karakuri Kaizen is an assembly job. So we use many different references, and in situation like this, missing one component can block the entire production. And in order to facilitate our assemblies, one thing that happened to us is we used a self-alignment ball bushing. So if I show it to you for you to see you guys this product.
Yeah, you need to put it in front of you, otherwise, yeah, okay.
And with this part, we have seen during COVID, we saw that even in the presence of a Kanban system, the weight in receiving this part got really inconsistent. And to understand what was happening with it, we went for a meeting with our supplier, or as we said since the beginning, our technical partner. And the main thing we have discovered at that time was that this product was a really low runner for them, and that they have exactly the same product. And as Cyril is showing you right now, it looks like exactly the same, but inside this component there is a a really small difference, which is that it's not self-aligned as the one we used to have inside our plants. It's one which is blocked in the alignments. And by seeing that they have a high runner products that we can use by just changing a bit of our design to facilitate the assembly of the complete Karakuri, we could use the high runner of our supplier instead of asking him to provide us with a really low runner product for him.
Yeah, got it. And obviously you cannot do it all the time with all the parts, but that happens much more times than you would suppose. Sometimes it's just like you said, switching apart one by the other, and there we go, we just fix a problem. So that's, Cyril, that's, I think, what you called find and face, right? Find the problem,
Right.
face it, yeah, and go through the root cause analysis and interact with your tech partners, okay, your suppliers, your key suppliers. Great, great, guys. Thank you, Benoit, for sharing that situation. So you have mentioned the second problem, the make or buy, right? And again, what does that mean for you?
Yes, this is actually crucial for the business. Today, we are systematically asking ourselves the question: does this part improve customer satisfaction, quality and lead time for make or buy perspective? For this internal discussion and the respective analysis, we have chosen to machine certain finished products instead of buying them. Today, to be more autonomous, we have insourced around 15 finished reference.
Okay, okay. So that comes with a kind of analysis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One other example is the emerging environmental issue and our desire to reduce CO2 emission and lead time for our customers. It leads us to consider developing local capability and production here in the south of France. With this technology partner, we started looking at transferring the production of aluminum casting component and associated machinery nearly 2 years ago.
Okay, so that's the image you share up front. So let me share it with the audience, so and they just it's not that a big stuff, but it's you can just go through it in brief seconds, Cyril.
Well, basically, it's the casting parts that we are showing here. So that's the parts we use to make quite far from our plant, and that we decide to produce in a closer plant to ours, so in a plant near Bordeaux.
Okay, so we have gone through supplier collaboration, make or buy decisions. Okay. So, but you have also mentioned through your pitch sustainability, green, CO2 emissions, and carbon footprint. So let me address a couple of questions on that matter. So to begin, in the scenario you provided, what is the projected advantage from producing locally? Okay. And the second, we have clearly comprehended the benefits of Karakuri concepts in lowering CO2 emission, because you don't use energy sources, you don't consume electrical power, anything. So it's simple to see why Toyota has designated it as a TPS value. Okay, could you provide an example of CO2 reduction between a typical electrical solution and the ones that you provide and design with Karakuri in the sense of the carbon footprint?
Yes, in the previous example, the saving or the transport of freight parts is around 1.5 tons CO2 equivalents. Added to this fact that primary energy in France is 50 grams of CO2 equivalent per kilowatt hour. whereas in Japan, it is 480 grams per kilowatt hour. This saves just under 2 tons of CO2 equivalent. As you may already know, the comparison between two solutions to device is made by comparing LCA. LCA is life cycle assessment.
Life cycle assessment,
Yes,
you meant?
LCA,
Okay.
life cycle assessment. So for an example, for a 500-person factory, we can save around 200 tons of CO2, which correspond to the saving of 40 around kilograms of CO2 equivalent per Karakuri Kaizen.
Yep, that is mind-blowing. It's fascinating. Yep, I understand. Yeah, make or buy is something that you guys have always on the top of the table, right? So you have this carbon footprint on your mind, then the make or buy is based also on this dimension, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other example to share about this make or buy that the audience may feel engaged with?
So the other example we have about the make or buy thing is about one component which is really important in Karakuri Kaizen. It's the inertial brake. So just to show you, I don't know if you see it well.
Yeah, you need to put it, in front of you. Yes. Okay. I think we can see it.
So basically, this component, we used to buy it before, but we are producing it internally now for different things. The aim of this component for the Karakuri is to keep the movement smooth. So the idea is as fast you turn, as the little weight you have around are going out on the edge of the component, and brake more as fast you go, as strong the brake is. And it permits us to control the speed of our Karakuri Kaizen, to have something smooth for the operator, for the maintenance of the Karakuri, and also to have something that is, when you are close to someone which is using it, so when you have something going quite fast, it could be quite stressful. And when you control really the speed, you have something which is more smooth for the person.
I think we got it. So again, this was one of those 15 components that you made your kind of business case, and between make or buy, you decided to make, right? And also solving, well, you may solve one supply thing because you are not buying the entire part to a third party, but now you need to buy the raw materials. But okay, let's not step into that details.
When we go really in the technical details of the products, it's a bit easier.
Yeah, it is. So in a nutshell, you have taken us through your learnings on collaboration with suppliers, right? Then the make or buy decisions as the biggest contributors to find and fix your supply chain issues. But we are also interested to know your opinion in some other lean thinking topics, okay? So this will come kind of as a surprise, okay? So a lot has been said and written about just-in-time, how it relates with supply chain issues over the past years. So some advocate about it in the sense that just-in-time was a major contributor for those disruptions due to the low stock principles of lean thinking, while others, like myself and we at Lean Global Network, underline that just-in-time never was about zero or near zero inventories, but about a kind of a situational approach to the risks involved in the business, and then correlating the risk with the stock levels and promoting an efficient operation. So you have always to balance, okay? So what is your line of thought as a business manager? Because you daily live this dilemma, right? Risk, inventory.
Indeed, the word trick with TPS is to get people to work on lead time and quality. By introducing a continuous flow, a pull system with a Kanban tool, we often think that Kanban as a management or restocking tool, when in fact it's a trick to help problem emerge. The example given by Benoit is a good one because it's the Kanban that alerts us to the problem we need to look at to understand it. And it's the same thing for Jidoka, which allows us to improve quality and to develop self-monitoring by each member of staff.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So in your answer, you put TPS, Kanbans, Jidokas, and put it all together. Yeah, liked it. Yes, nice. So great examples of not only partnership and collaboration, but also good examples on the carbon footprint and not some reply or answer on these JIT supply chains inventory levels. Thanks again for it, Cyril. So we are kind of coming to a end here. Is any other thing that you would like to add at this point in time?
Yes, I would like to thank you because this presentation has given us the opportunity to thanks to our team once again and for the day-to-day Kaizen work with our technology partner and for the progress we have made together to ensure greater satisfaction for our customers.
Okay, so thank you as well, Cyril and Benoit, for your kind of words. We have learned from the case of AIO that supply chain is not always about cheap or air freights, volumes, lead times and costs, but also can be about connect and engage in a more deeply way with your peers and your business partners. So in that sense, it was a great lesson learned for me, hopefully also for the entire audience. So I would end the session before moving to Q&A with a kind of call for action with the audience, which is go and engage to a deeper level with your key partners, your tech partners, okay, suppliers and customers. They will provide you with some great learnings about yourself, about your products and about your business for sure. And as you mentioned, Cyril, is find and face your problems, right?
First.
So guys, yeah, I think we have here some minutes left. So I will go now just through the chat and see if there is questions for our speakers. So I've just seen the comments. Thank guys. Ismael from Brazil. How did you build your relationship with the Lean Sensei? I found the comment on the less stressful environments / feelings very interesting. So this is to you, Cyril. How did you build your relationship with your Lean Sensei?
To have a sensei is not easy for CEO. We have to accept to listen. We have to accept to not to watch the finger, but we have to accept to change our mind. We have to accept to change our mindset also. So it's very difficult to accept to have a sensei. But my advice is to go in this way because that enables you to be more and more lean. Without sensei, it's impossible to make lean.
Yeah, I've found myself on the same spot. To have a sensei is like have a kind of an inner voice that provides you guidance, right? And puts you on the right directions. Okay, that is great. So there is another question from Catherine, which is, did the insourcing of more components actually reduce the overall lead time for the customers? Did it improve the quality?
Yeah, well, it could improve both, let's say. Regarding lead time, on parle d'insourcing, c'est le phénomène. When we are making our product, instead of buying it, if I take the example of the last example I've shown about, that permits us to adjust the design as soon as we want. So basically, depending when we have a project, we can just all have the part already ready in our stock, as we have done if we have bought it. But if we need to make any adjustment on the design, if we need to adapt the product to our customer specification, when we make it internally, we can be much more reactive on it.
Mm-hmm. So that is the benefit, the upside of insourcing, right? Okay. So then Ismael comes with a second question, which is, could you talk more about how you mapped and identified the CO2 emissions throughout your process?
Well, we have some database about CO2 emissions. And also, as Cyril mentioned, it's about the LCA, so life cycle assessment approach, that is mapping with the creation of the product, the use of it, and the end of the product. And with the Karakuri Kaizen, so the main thing is when we are creating it. So when we are creating it, it's depending of our supplier, where it is, what kind of energy our supplier is using, is it nuclear energy, coal energy, all of that. It's more about a database we have. So to choose a bit, and that helps us also to choose where we want to produce with which supplier and why. The second point is in when we are using the product itself, and as you have seen with the Karakuri, we can save a lot because we don't use external energy by using the Karakuri itself. And the last one is about the end of the product, and as you may have seen in the video, it's an assemble. We make the Karakuri in an assemble way instead of welding way, and this is for two things. The first thing is to enable Kaizen in a more easy way. And the second point is also that we can reuse all the components and frame to make another Karakuri when we don't want to use it anymore as the one we have designed at the beginning.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that to answer also to Ismael, if he goes through the thing that you said, the life cycle assessment, I bet there are plenty of information on the web regarding on how to do a correct and proper LCA. Am I right?
So it has blocked. It's just as short a bit on our side. I haven't really understood.
Yeah, I'm just questioning if a part of the answer to Ismael on how to map CO2 emissions through the process, if it would be also a thing to look at the life cycle assessment, the LCA that you have mentioned.
Yeah, that's it, yes.
Okay. So Ismael, if you are still there, okay, you might want to look at the LCA. Okay, so I'm now seeing that Christopher is on the top of the mountain. He is coming to us. And so we are getting to our end. Thank you so much, guys. Keep on being with us for the next sessions and see you sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. Bye.